Like, black people are notorious for naming their children 25-letter names that they're never going to get even pronounced right, let alone spelled right. Like, why would you do that?
Over there. Do you know why they actually do that?
Yeah.
The reason for that is because during slavery, their identities were taken away. So they had to have unique names in order to identify their offspring when they were sold from different plantations. So that came down generationally as generational trauma.
Okay, well, how about now? Isn't that sort of trauma for that poor kid that's never going to have his name spelled right?
Only to your standards. Like, what is...
If I were that child, I wouldn't want my name misspelled all the way through or mispronounced by people.
That's because people can't take the time to pronounce it correctly.
Whatever.
You can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but you can't say Jaquan. Are you kidding me?
Okay, whatever the result is, the poor child does not have his name pronounced correctly or spelled correctly.
Because people do not take the time. You can take the extra 2 seconds to do it, but instead you're sitting here making fun of a whole culture of people for things that they didn't have a choice on.
Do you have a name that gets misspelled a lot?
I sure don't.
Well,
because my mom whitewashed my name.
So that's racist.
Yo, what's good, people? We back. Had to come through on this one right here, man. This shit right here is really upsetting. Because first of all, this white lady right here looks disgusting. Looks horrendous. Looks like a horror movie looking at her. But second of all, what she's saying, what she's talking about is giving you the mind state of white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? Because she may just be a poor white cracker, but I'm talking about white supremacists. That's the mind state, right? Because she's talking about these black people with, you know, the names and their names, right? And this is something that's very upsetting. Because just watch, matter of fact, I think remember Key and Peele, they did a skit where, in the beginning of Monday Night Football, where all the players that play football that are playing right there during the game, they come and announce themselves. Terrell Suggs, or no, T Sizzle. You know what I'm saying? They'll say their names or nicknames. And they were making fun of a lot of the names in football. But, that's one thing that you should pay attention to is names. It's very important. Because white people, right? If you notice that a lot of these assimilationists, these immigrants, when they assimilate, they change their names from something that's like, in their homeland, their name may be Asamwaga as Asamagwai or some shit. I'm sorry, I had to think of something. Asamagwai. That may be your name in your homeland, but when you get to America, your name is Sam. You was a Samagwai in your homeland, but when you get here, your name is Sam. You get what I'm saying? That's for nothing but pleasing white people, to make it easy for white people to not trigger that mind state right there, because once that mind state is triggered, things happen. Because if you see at the picture that I put up, right, it's an African girl's yearbook, and her name, she's African. She's comes from an African family. She comes from an African family, so you see her name spelled. They have the those names, the Abuke, Asabuke. You know what I'm saying? Those names and everything like that. So these names are coming over, right? And these names are mixing in, coming in there. You know what I'm saying? They're in the same classrooms as a Wallace, but his first name may be Richard, or or maybe Muhammad. Those may be the names. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of some names because all of a sudden I just can't think of the names. But these names are like within our community. So many of them. But with that, these are African names, so they're mixing in with us. And when these names mix in with us, all of a sudden the white person is able to tell, okay, this is the African, but she looks at all of us as Africans. She looks at all of us as being slaves brought over from Africa. So, and then, you know, some African Americans you were just brought over here earlier. That's how they look at it. That's how white people look at it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm speaking on this from how they look at it, because that nasty broad spoke at the beginning. And they like to play dumb. They like to play dumb as shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like, personally, I know from personal stories that, listen, my name is only 6 letters, but I've heard the weirdest and craziest shit, and every white person's, not every, but I would say 80% of them that I've come across struggle to say my name correctly. And it's only 6 letters. So, right? So I'd be like, that's crazy. How the fuck you can't read? You just put in, you don't know the English language, but you got authority and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But let somebody let a European, for European, if they're reading off a European name, they'll read that smooth as hell. Oh, Assalamovich. Now, how the fuck you able to say Assalamovich? That shit had three R's and 2 Z's, and you know what I'm saying, and 2 Y's, and you able to pronounce and know everything like you. Oh, you know the D is silent. Do you know how long saying Dirk Nowitzki's name was really? Everybody just said Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying? I used to be listening to the game, and I'd be like, yo, why are they calling him Dirk Nowitzki? Oh, because the German language, the W equals a V. How the fuck? You know, I'm sorry for my language, but how are we supposed to know that? That's not us. That's not taught to us. But white people, they will know the German language, and they know the certain things about it. So Dirk Nowitzki, he was Dirk Nowitzki for a long time, but then once he reached a certain status, his name was not pronounced wrong ever again. It was Dirk Nowitzki. Never again was it Dirk Nowitzki. If you listen to these announcers during these basketball games, you know, they know how to say the Europeans' names so smooth. I remember who was it? Because there've been so many trash flops coming from Europe. You know, a lot of Erhans and little Erhans, Stojakovic's, not Peja Stojakovic, but even Peja Stojakovic, I remember like they're able to pronounce his name smooth as hell. You know what I'm saying? Just go play 2K, listen to how they pronounce the names. You know? Just listen to that, because once they find a name that they find a little off, oh, your name is John Tavius, John Tavius Jenkins. I want to say Jenkins because Jenkins is like, they know how to pronounce that, but it's only 2 syllables, so they know how to put that together. But you get what I'm saying about John Tavius. They'll keep an extra eye on him once he's in school. If he ever misses 2 days in a row, child services are being called, and now social workers are visiting that mother's house. And if they just happen to find, a roach, not a real roach, but a blunt that was smoked, you know what I'm saying, in her bedroom or something like that, now the kid gets taken away, all because of that was triggered, you know what I'm saying, him being named, that triggered that mind state in that white woman to make her think that now that there was something wrong with those parents, and think that kid suffered a childhood trauma with his name not being pronounced right. You get what I'm saying? Tupac gave they asked him, I saw an interview, said they asked, what does your name Tupac mean? And he gave the meaning, and he says, whenever white people say, act like they don't know how to pronounce your name. You say it twice. You automatically have to say your name twice everywhere you go. Have to repeat it to be understood. So he said, so it gives you character. That's what Tupac said about his name, because how many times you watch the news? Tupac. Do you know Erykah Badu is still Erykah Badu? Well, for the longest she was Erykah Badu in the news, on TV, Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? Because that's on purpose. All of those mispronunciations that they do are on purpose. That they are playing dumb. Do not let white people fool you. They are playing dumb, and they're doing that to draw the line, the cultural line, to be like, that is your culture. That is not my culture. I do not recognize your culture. I do not give your culture credit as being authentic or on the same level as mine. That's why I do not know it. So that's why I mispronounce it, and I do not recognize what you mean to your culture. That's why you are Tupac, Tupac Shakur. You are not Tupac. You are Tupac Shakur. You get what I'm saying? That is what they mean, and then what they want to get across when they mispronounce your name. I just want to make sure that is clear. I know I went through a couple of different things, throughout this, trying to think of the names, but I'll you'll hear me talk more on other episodes where it all be clicking, and it all come to me about how these names, what they do, because to me it's been obvious my whole life. But just know that playing dumb is white people's number one weapon. That's why our number one weapon is the truth. You get what I'm saying? The truth will always beat that shit. So I'm going to go and get out of here on this one. This was nasty. I'm out. Salute.